Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam namaskritya narang chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam udirayet nastaprayeshu bhadreshu nityang bhagavata sevaya bhagavad-Gita shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtaki. So reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 7. What Prahlad learned in the womb, text number 15. Yeah, text number 15. Rishi Karunikas Tasya Rishi Karunikas Tasya Pradad Ubayam Ishvara Pradad Ubayam Ishvara Dharmasya Tatvam Jnanam Cha Dharmasya Tatvam Jnanam Cha Mam Apyudishya Nirmalam Mam Apyudishya Nirmalam Rishi Karunikastasya Pradad Ubayam Ishvara Dharmasya Tatvam Jnanam Cha Mam Apyudishya Nirmalam Rishi Karunikastasya Pradadubhayam Ishvaraha Dharmasya Tatvam Jnanam Cha Mamapyudishya Nirmalam Rishi, the great sage Narada Muni, Karunika, naturally very affectionate or merciful to the fallen souls. Tasya, to her. Pradat, gave instructions. Ubayam, both. Ishvara, a powerful controller who can do whatever he likes. Narada Muni. Dharmasya, of religion. Tattvam, the truth. Jnanam, knowledge. Cha, and. Mam, may. Api, especially. Udishya, indicating. Nirmalam, without material contamination. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Avoya Charanaravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Narada Muni, I can hear some feedback. Narada Muni delivered his instructions both to me, who was within the womb, and to my mother, who was engaged in rendering him service. Because he is naturally extremely kind to the fallen souls, being in a transcendental position, he gave instructions on religion and transcendental knowledge. These instructions were free from all material contamination. Responsively, please. Narada Muni delivered his instructions both to me, who was within the womb, and to my mother, who was engaged in rendering him service, because he is naturally extremely kind to the fallen souls, being in a transcendental position. He gave instructions on religion and transcendental knowledge. These instructions were free from all material contamination. Srila Prabhupada's purport. Here it is said, Dharmasya tattvam jnanam cha nirmalam. The word nirmalam refers to spotless dharma, spotless religion, or in other words, Bhagavad Dharma. Ordinary ritualistic activities constitute contaminated religion, by which one benefits by developing material wealth and prosperity. But uncontaminated, pure religion consists of understanding one's relationship with God and acting accordingly, thus fulfilling the highest mission of life in returning home back to Godhead. Prahlad Maharaj advised that one elevate oneself to the standard of Bhagavad Dharma from the very beginning of life. Kaumarang acharet prajño dharman bhagavataniham. The Lord himself also speaks of pure, uncontaminated religion when he says, Sarva dharman parityajam mamekang sharanang vrajam. Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. Bhagavad-Gita 1866. One must understand one's relationship with God and then act accordingly. This is Bhagavad Dharma. Bhagavad Dharma means bhakti-yoga. Vasudeve Bhagavati bhakti-yoga prayojita janayatyashu vairagyam jnanam cha yada haitukam. By rendering devotional service unto the personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, one immediately acquires causeless knowledge and detachment from the world. Srimad Bhagavatam 127. To be situated on the platform of pure religion, one should perform bhakti-yoga in relationship with Krishna, Vasudeva. Om Jnana Timarandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manovishtam Stapitang Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Svapadantikam Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyeva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gauda Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Narada Muni delivered his instructions both to me, who was within the womb, and to my mother, who was engaged in rendering him service, because he is naturally extremely kind to the fallen souls. Being in a transcendental position, he gave instructions on religion and transcendental knowledge. These instructions were free from all material contamination. Thank you for allowing me to come back to Vrindavan Dham. I always got to pray to Tulsi Devi that she allows us to stay here. And actually, I was reading that when one reaches the age of 50, he should go to Vana, forest, specifically Vrindavan. Prabhupada said, we'd like to invite all the elderly people to come and stay in Vrindavan, worship Krishna Balaram. So Narada Muni, being very kind, he blessed Prahlad Maharaj, also his mother, gave transcendental instructions about the purpose, the goal of life, the purpose of religion. And Prahlad, hearing, and he himself was instructing all his friends, his class friends, about the purpose and goal of life and how to achieve it. So human life is very rare, and dharma, artha, kama, moksha. There are scriptures in the world, many scriptures are there. And we're fortunate that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu instructed Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, the 6 Goswamis, again to re-establish religious principles. It seems like this material world was created for all living entities to try to utilize their independence, enjoy life. And even back when Kardama Muni, through his austerities and meditation, he had personal darshan with Krishna. Krishna revealed himself. And Swayambhuva Manu brought Devahuti for Kardama Muni. And he was instructed by his father, Brahma, that you should propagate. So he did his duties, produced nice 9 daughters. And then Kapila Devi said that the Lord said, I will personally appear. And so Kardama Muni was a little concerned because he knew that, okay, I did my duty, and now I'm going to go and perform my tapasya, meditation, my preaching, set the right example. He was concerned about Devahuti, who will take care. So Kapila Dev, the Lord, incarnated, and even back millions of years ago, he said the reason why he came and spoke the Sankhya philosophy about dharma, bhakti-yoga, because somehow or other, again, it was lost. It seems we have this problem of memory. We seem to forget that we're not the material body. You know, we're not white, we're not Indian, we're not American or African or European, Eskimo, whatever. You know, we have people are very much deluded or illusioned by Maya. And this Maya, Daivi Hesha Gunamayi, Mama Maya Duratyaya, Mama Vaye Prapajante, Mayame Tang Tarantite. I've told the story before when I was in Miami. First time I was going to see my family, our temple president at the time was Narahari Prabhu. He said, you learn this verse and understand that Maya is very strong, illusion is very strong. But if you always take shelter of Krishna by chanting his name, by hearing about Krishna, by following the instructions of Guru, then you'll always stay strong. Maya will not capture. Maya is there to keep the rascals and fools who want to be illusioned. So it seems like this process of dharma in religion again and again is lost. So yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyutananga dharmasya tadatmanang sajamyaham. Krishna knows, he knows everything. Sarvagya, he's in our heart, he's in everyone's heart, in every atom. And again, he comes in different incarnations. Oh, the earth has fallen into the Garbhodak ocean. Okay, Lord Varaha comes to save the earth. So everyone's forgetting about dharma, the purpose and goal of human life. Kapila Devi is speaking, Sankhya philosophy. Lord Krishna appears to again re-establish religious principles with Arjuna. Again, we forget, he comes as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates. When the Lord comes, just like when an emperor, a king comes, he has a entourage, many followers. We even see, we have many of our spiritual leaders, gurus, they travel, they have many followers and many, why do they have followers? Because they're giving protection, they're giving guidance. So the guru, he's protecting the surrendered subordinate from falling again to the trap of repeated birth and death. Materialistic life is described like you're in a lonely field and the grass is overgrown, the good rainy season, and somehow you slip and fall into a deep, dark well. Nobody's around. So you can cry for hundreds of years. No one will hear you. You're screaming and crying that I'm stuck in this dark well. The walls are slippery, it's very deep, and there's no way out. So we find ourselves in that condition in the material world, that we've slipped in the dark well of illusion, and we're struggling very hard with the senses and the mind. The senses are very powerful. In the mind of years and years, birth after birth, various desires we're having, so we're forming our mind. And the mind is repeatedly trying to orchestrate, if we do it this way, we'll be happy. Do it that way, you'll be happy. And there's all kinds of religious, performing austerities, giving charity, studying the scriptures. These are all recommended in the scriptures. But Krishna, after teaching Arjuna about meditation, about yoga, about austerity, sacrifice, duty, so many things, we all have responsibilities. Ultimately, what does he say? Manmana bhava madbhakto madhyaji mang namaskaru manivasya satyante pradijani priyosane. Think of me. Become my devotee. Worship me. Offer your prayers to me. Thus you'll come to me without fail. I promise you. You're my friend. And then sarva dharma parityaja mamikang shranang vraja aham tvang sarapapivyo mokshayashami masuchaha. Then abandon all varieties of religion, all the different, not that Krishna is asking that you give up religion. No, but he's teaching what is the real religion is the law of God, the order of God. And that order is that we have to terminate material life and awaken our spiritual life. And how is that done? What's the secret of success? To satisfy the spiritual master. And the spiritual master is Krishna. Because one becomes a spiritual master who is 24 hours a day is thinking of Krishna, glorifying Krishna, Premanjana, he's thinking of Krishna, he sees Krishna. And the order of the Guru is simply, he is instructing us, we're singing every day in Srila Prabhupada's Samadhi, the Guru Vastika prayers. For those who are missing, you're missing out, but it's very nice. It's a beautiful meditation, how we're struggling in an intense forest fire of material existence, in illusion, and we're suffering. Everyone in the material world is suffering. Although there may be a temporary glimpse of so-called happiness, they're driving in their Mercedes-Benz, their Audis, they have their private jets, a big wardrobe, a lot of jewelry, they have nice necklaces and whatnot. Everyone's thinking this is the happiness and the goal of life. But this happiness is temporary. We call it momentary flickering happiness of material existence. So by praying to our spiritual master, by hearing the spiritual master's instructions, then, as it says here, Vasudeve Bhagavati bhakti-yoga prayojita janigat yashu vairagyam gyanang cha yadahaitukam. By rendering service faithfully to the Lord, then immediately causeless knowledge and detachment, jnana vairagya. One cannot have renunciation of material life without jnana. And jnana is not that you go to the gym and every day you're pumping iron, oh yeah, now I'm strong. We may all day long recite shlokas and think that, I know so much Vedic knowledge, I can tell so many stories. But Krishna is not interested. He's interested in the devotion, the love. Isn't it? That he's thinking, patrang pushpang palang toyang yome bhaktya prayashati. So how do we develop this natural love for Krishna? Because it's already there, but it's covered over by our ego, by our own desires, our own desire to be respected, our own desires to be enjoyers. We were reading earlier here when the demigods decided to beat up on the demons, they all scattered this way and that way. They left their families, they left their possessions, they didn't care about anybody else. Everyone was only interested in their own self-preservation. I was in Los Angeles, and I think it was 1993. I was fortunate enough to be on the altar. I lit the incense after blowing the conch shell, and there was an earthquake in LA. So all the pillars are breaking, and we immediately jumped up to hold the deities. People are jumping out of the window, to save themselves. So it's like that. We're in this world, and if someone says bomb or fire, everyone immediately scatters. You're not thinking, where's my brother or cousin? You may think of that afterward, but initially everyone's thinking about how to take care of themselves. So Narada Muni is very compassionate, naturally compassionate, due to being in a transcendental position. Prabhupada was not thinking about his own comforts. He was not thinking that I'm in a good situation sitting just outside of Rupa Goswami's samadhi. I have a chance to be in Vrindavan Dham, Jamuna's there, Krishna Leela, the pastimes of Krishna. What more do you want? Stay in Braj and just chant Hare Krishna, be happy. But he took on great austerity and great personal sacrifice out of love and compassion. So unless we're developing the qualities which are described in the scripture, Titikshava, Karunika, Suhrida, Sarvadehanam, that we're being tolerant, merciful, I mean, who are we to be merciful? But merciful in the sense that we're following in the footsteps of our Guru Maharaj. We're following in the footsteps of Srila Prabhupada, the six Goswamis, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mood of preaching. Trinada Pisa, Nichena, Taroda Pisa, Ishnuna, Amanina, Amanadena, Kirtaniya Sadahari. So there's the essence, Kirtaniya Sadahari. Oh, I want to chant the Lord's holy name and hear about Krishna in Vrindavan, perfection. But what is the prerequisite? What is required before you can actually chant the holy name and stay in Vrindavan? Otherwise, the material desires will bug us. The mind will disturb us. Even though we're hearing Bhagavatam, we're thinking about this and thinking about that, and how to make tasteful arrangements for our sense gratification instead of tasteful arrangements for the pleasure of Krishna and Guru. But it's causeless knowledge and detachment. The Lord within the heart, He understands what is our motive. So it's a fine, they call it a fine line, very subtle appreciation that we're hearing from Krishna, then we need to apply that to our lives. We need to see when we're making our mistakes. And when someone corrects us, it's not that that person is hating on us. Advaita Acharya was speaking some Mayavadi philosophy until he really got Lord Chaitanya mad, and then Lord Chaitanya chastised him, and then he felt so much happiness. Oh, he loves me, he cares for me. And sometimes the parent chastises the child, don't put your hand in the fire. Oh, why are you yelling at me? Because you're going to burn, you're going to suffer. So in the long run, this love and devotion and caring is important. And Narada Muni exhibited that by giving transcendental knowledge to Prahlad Maharaj. And Prahlad is describing that we both heard this transcendental knowledge, but my mother was more worried about my child in my womb, when my husband's meditating, the demigods, or maybe they're going to give me a hard time. But she felt safe and comforted by being in the presence of Narada Muni. But because she was thinking of other family considerations, then maybe she didn't retain that same wisdom as Prahlad Maharaj. He remembered and he acted on that knowledge. So all of us should understand that we could die today, we could die tomorrow, 10 years, 20 years. Life is very, very short. And everyone in the material world is working very hard to accomplish something, to achieve something. But it's described that material endeavors, if you don't complete your material endeavor, then it's basically a waste of time. Imagine, I don't know, you've driven to Delhi. I've seen so many shells, hundreds of buildings everywhere. They're all the way up, but they're empty because they have never finished them. So imagine the crores of rupees and the sweat and the blood, sweat, and tears put into putting that effort. But it's a waste. It's useless. Empty shell. So life in material world is an empty shell. We're not interested to stay here or associate with persons who are simply interested in money and sense gratification. Of course, we like Lakshmi, but we want to use it for printing books. We like Lakshmi to decorate the deities. And we like Lakshmi to keep the temple beautiful and broadcast the message of Krishna. This is very nice, no problem. But it used in Krishna's service, there's no loss. What is the verse? Neha bikarama nashasti pratyavayana vijate swapamapyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. A little endeavor that you put towards Krishna, pleasing Guru, pleasing Krishna, that little bit of endeavor is always in your bank account. If you do only 2%, then again you start from 2%. You don't go back to 0. So whatever time we have left, especially not that we want to be fatalistic and just talk about death and the miseries of life. There are miseries, birth, old age, disease, death. Everyone sees it. No one likes to discuss it or admit it. Yesterday we saw something from our Gomata products about digestive medicine. It shows all the intestines and this and that. I said, we don't, no need to show that. But it's like we don't want to be so graphic as to. Just imagine in New York there was one exhibition, a body exhibition. They peel the skin off the body, and they show all the body with the muscles and the blood and the pretty gross. Even Shankaracharya says, oh, you're attracted. It's just pus and blood, men are attracted to women and women may sometimes attracted to men or whatever. And we may hear about it's not going to help us to achieve perfection, but because of such strong conditioning, such bodily concept, we think, oh, it's okay. But peel off the skin, and people sometimes, when they see a body which is burnt or all the skin is peeled off, they vomit or they faint because it's such a gross manifestation. So Krishna made a perfect package, nice skin, very beautiful, and you have Gandharvas, Apsaras, and if someone is very, very beautiful, good karma, pious activity, but if they don't utilize their beauty in serving Krishna consciousness, I remember being on Sankirtan for many years, and the people would go to the airports or the rest stops, wherever the devotees were, and they'd see that there was a special glow, there was a special effulgence and enthusiasm. They thought the Sankirtan ladies were just like goddesses, and the men were just like empowered, incredible. The special effulgence. Prabhupada was commenting. Some priest said that, how is it these were all our boys and girls, Christians and Catholics and Jews, but now they look so bright-faced. So bright-faced comes from hearing about Krishna, chanting Krishna's name, and doing devotional service for Krishna. Having enough faith, shraddha, enough faith that by following the instructions of the 6 Goswamis, by following the instructions of Srila Prabhupada, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, my Guru Maharaj, my God brothers and God sisters who are doing nice service, by following their example, that the end result will be that you will be empowered, that Vasudeva, Bhagavati, Bhakti, Jnana Vairagyam, that you will actually, that knowledge will become manifest. and you will feel inspired to go back home, back to the spiritual kingdom. Otherwise, material association and simply making plans and schemes how to become comfortable and happy in this world, they get defeated. But also, Prabhupada is very practical and very. When he said that many of the Westerners that are coming to India, you may not be used to the standard and austerity. Some, like many of the persons from India, they may have lived in a very simple lifestyle, and they're very happy, and they don't need so much. And it seemed like different people have different standards of living, and not that we're saying that one person is going to live this way, another person is going to live that way. Ultimately, we all have to give up this material idea of happiness in the material world and render this devotional service. Even like Bhaktivinoda Thakur, as the magistrate, he was given some facilities, and when the Rath Yatra was coming, Lord Jagannath was coming, his wife can come with Bhakti Siddhanta, hundreds of thousands of people, but he was given some facility, some privilege. So, not that we want to become devotees so that people will honor and respect us, but that naturally comes. Narada Muni is respected, Prahlad Maharaj is respected all over the world, the 6 Goswamis, they didn't want anything. They voluntarily gave up their wealth, they voluntarily gave up their aristocratic association, they voluntarily lived a simple lifestyle and studied all the scriptures and churned the essence of knowledge so they can deliver in this particular age, Kali Yuga, they can give us the essence of all knowledge in a very clear, succinct, they call it succinct, or a way that's very easy to understand, so that we can not have to speculate, oh, I need to read this Purana, that Purana, and this and that. Well, we have to read the Bhagavad Purana because this is Krishna. He appeared in this age in the form of Srimad Bhagavatam. And Krishna also incarnated in the form of Bhagavad-Gita. His words are non-different. Krishna and Krishna's words are non-different. Krishna's name and Krishna are not different. So even if we don't have the ability or are not scholarly inclined, still we should enthusiastically chant Krishna's name, and by the constant chanting of Krishna's name, the heart will be cleansed. If something is very corroded, sometimes we see brass and things that become dark color, and then you have to apply some rubbing, and you keep rubbing and rubbing, and that darkness goes away and the brilliance comes out. So it's not a mechanical chanting, but the repeated hearing of Krishna's name, and also by hearing the pastimes of Krishna, by sitting together. Krishna says, I'm not in the heart of the yogis, I'm not there where all the philosophers are discussing philosophically, but where all the devotees are together glorifying Krishna or chanting Krishna's name. He is there, Krishna is present. So take advantage of being here in Sri Vrindavan Dham. Take advantage of hearing from Prabhupada and Prabhupada's teachings. Every day, if Prabhupada wanted, we should read at least 1 hour a day, 2 hours a day, at least 15 minutes a day. We should read. And this reading is associated with Krishna. And just be here in front of the deities, that's devotional service. Many times when people want to come to stay in Vrindavan, well, what's my service? What should I do? Your service is come to see the Mangal Arti. Come and worship Tulsi in Vrindavan. Come and greet the deities and dance with the devotees who are chanting. Hear the Bhagavatam. Take prasad with the devotees. And then naturally you want to render service. Like when we were bhaktas, we looked for the temple commander. Our duty was from 10 to, you go full morning program, take prasadam, then do service. So, where's my temple commander? I'm ready. Here I am. When you see someone come to you that, okay, I'm ready. What should I do? Okay, clean all the walls and do this and sweep. And then he does it enthusiastically. Krishna's happy. Or you have cooking duties. You cook so nicely because this is going to be offered to Krishna. You glorify Krishna by selling my books. Oh, the mind, I don't want to approach people. I'm not a book distributor. I'm not a preacher. I'm not, these are designations. You try. Just put forward the endeavor. And book distribution is so nice. Book distribution means that you actually, like in the mood of Narada Muni, you actually care about giving someone an opportunity to come out of the material existence. If you have a relative, brother, sister, dying of some terminal disease, and you've been given a cure, you're going to sit, I'm not into giving out medicine. No, you want to run and give them the medicine. It's not you're thinking that, it's too much inconvenient for me to give the medicine to these people. They're going to die anyway. What's the big hurry? No, you should be enthusiastic that by my dressing the deities very nicely, the pilgrims are inspired. By cooking very nicely and offering to Krishna with love and devotion, they're going to get very nice prasadam. And by behaving properly and doing nice service, you set a good example. Others will see, these devotees are so busy. Prabhupada was not interested that we should train our people to become engineers, doctors, lawyers. Of course, if somebody is already in school and doing, that's very nice, engaged everybody in the service of Krishna. He's very happy. Swarup Damodar Goswami, PhD in physics, very nice. But not that we want to become big business people or, industrialists or some professionals just for the sake of a very comfortable lifestyle, driving in a nice vehicle and having a nice apartment. We want to use whatever Krishna has given us in the service of Krishna, and if we can somehow do it with humility and with real honest endeavor, compassion, being genuine, not to be false and pretentious. These are all important aspects of advancing the spiritual life. And sometimes we may have disagreements amongst ourselves, like we have family with disagreements. We have to tolerate because we're in Krishna's family. Even Krishna's family had disagreements, so much so Krishna wrapped the whole Yadu dynasty up in such a way that they beat each other. So we're not ready yet, so hold on. Let's not kill one another just now. We still have some more work to do. And by working in the mood of cooperation and sometimes whenever there is some difficulty, take shelter of devotees. And when we see that there's something that someone is doing nicely in Krishna consciousness, render service. And we don't know who the pilgrims are, the people who are lying in the street, the dogs, the pigs. Vrindavan is a special place, it's a spiritual world. But we should not categorize or profile thinking, okay, he's advanced, I'll give namaskar, he's useless, get out of my way, I'm coming through. We should actually have that mood of respect and honor for everyone, and by showing that, people are attracted to Krishna because we're Krishna's devotees. We're representatives of Krishna. It's not just all about us. If I misbehave, my spiritual master is discredited, or he feels he's not happy by that. And so what is the success formula? To make the spiritual master happy. Satisfy your spiritual master. What makes the spiritual master happy? We're Krishna conscious. We're humble. We're enthusiastic. We want to do what is being taught. What needs to be done, you do it. What are the different categories of servants? A fourth class servant is one who has no clue or no idea what the spiritual master wants. even when the spiritual master tells him he has no interest to do, it's like a not very advanced servant. Then third class, second class, third class, second class, that he's told what to do, he'll do it, but not in a favorable, okay, I'll do it, I'll get it done. But first class devotee is one who understands the mood of his spiritual master. He knows what needs to be done, and he does it enthusiastically. He actually is thinking not only about himself, he's thinking, how can I give pleasure to my master? How can I give pleasure to Krishna? Because this is our constitutional position. Jivera Swarupoi Krishna Nityadas. We're eternal servants of Krishna. We've fallen away from our service to Krishna. We're rotting in the material world. And Guru has come to save us. We take shelter of Guru, follow his instructions, chant the holy name, read Bhagavatam, hear Bhagavad-Gita, and then get out of the material world, finish our business here, go back to the spiritual kingdom. And Prabhupada promises, if you follow strictly this process of Krishna consciousness, every day rigidly chanting, hearing, serving, not offending the devotees, then you go back to the spiritual kingdom. We may feel unqualified, and maybe, we are unqualified, but causeless, somehow, wow, this is like a miracle. Krishna swoops down and takes one back home, back to out of the ocean of birth and death. Krishna and Garuda comes and takes one home, back to the spiritual kingdom. So it's like living a nightmare. Material life is like a bad dream. So we need to end this dream by awakening our spiritual consciousness. And that'll happen by this process of devotional service, bhakti. As Maharaj said yesterday, Narada Muni, he's the founder, guru, acharya of all the sampradayas. All the sampradayas are bona fide. But we're in the Brahma, Narada Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. And this sampradaya is to again reawaken our lost consciousness and reestablish the real, true Bhagavad Dharma, real religion. So we're not saying that we're the only ones. I'm sure there's many nice spiritual groups and people are following in their own way. But we have a genuine spiritual master. We have a genuine process. Don't start thinking that, oh, look at this one, he's not following, that one's not following. Don't worry about everybody else. You worry about you. You follow. And there are those who are following and setting good examples. Don't just look for the dirt, look for the nectar, the swan, isn't it? Lord Brahma, he flies an airplane that looks like a swan because a swan extracts the essence, the nectar. They say it could take the milk from the combination of milk and water. I don't know how he does that, but anyway, it's pretty unique. So we should become swan-like, not crow-like, or a fly-like, just look, where's the stool, where's the stool? So Prabhupada didn't want this Gramya Katha. He said we have no interest in newspapers or political parties, or this one's doing this one's doing, we don't want to be in total ignorance, so, we want to know what's going on basically. But at the same time, our interest is Bhagavad Dharma. We want to hear about Krishna, talk about Krishna, because too much, Facebook and what's this one doing, what's that one doing, oh, he wants to communicate, and that one, it's endless. There's no end to it. So better we don't waste our time, utilize our time for Krishna and spreading Krishna consciousness. And, I also have a long way to go. I'm not saying I'm following, you can all help me to become more Krishna conscious, give me more service. Every day there's a little something to discuss and do, isn't it? Somebody has a little issue here and there. But it's okay, it's all family. We should all appreciate having some opportunity to render service to Krishna in Sri Vrindavan. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Any question, comment? Yes, Prabhu. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
You spoke about many services which we can render. In this verse, it says one must understand one relationship with God and then act accordingly. We should identify how we are connected and what service we do to Krishna. How to identify?
By surrendering to authority, because Prabhupada set up that structure like that. That Prabhupada, obviously we have Guru, Sadhu, Shastra, Guru. Shastra, the scripture is there to teach us about our relationship with Krishna. Who is Krishna? Who are we? What is that relationship? Then the Guru, he comes to reinforce that understanding and knowledge and gives you instructions. Okay, you clean the temple, you prepare 4 kinds of nice foodstuffs for the deities, you dress the deities, you do the Sankirtan, you live in the ashram simple. So Guru gives instructions as well. And then we have a managerial structure to follow in the footsteps of Guru and Krishna. And so by following very nicely, like if you're confused about, well, what should I do? Then you just chant the holy name, or clean Krishna's temple. There's always cleaning to be done. And then Krishna, that is really genuinely understanding your relationship with Krishna, because you're a servant. What's a servant's business? To serve. Oh, Prabhu, can you do that? No, I'm not inclined towards that. I would rather do this. Imagine a king calling a servant, okay, go do that. No, I think I'd rather do something else. This is not a servant mentality. Of course, we could sometimes express our inclinations and how we feel that we can be best utilized in Krishna's service, and then we have to use our intelligence as well. But the basic and the safest way is to obey the orders of the spiritual master, which are given very clearly in Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad-Gita. So read every day, and Krishna will reveal to you, give you. When we're on Sankirtan, any Sankirtan devotees out here? Anyone, book distributors? Yeah? So when you're totally on the mental platform and people are treating you like get out of my way. So what do? We take the book, we open it up, and we pray to Prabhupada, please give me some direction. So even if you read 1 or 2 paragraphs, you think, and then you close, and then somehow Krishna gave you a shield and a sword, and you feel again empowered. And it's not, I'm not just saying that, we've been on the streets for many years doing, and you often find difficult situations. What do? You take shelter, and take shelter of Krishna in the form of his books. You're a book distributing books, Krishna will give you protection. Miraculously, Krishna will give you guidance. He'll provide you your dal and chapatis. He'll take care of your necessities. Yes, Prabhu.
You were speaking about six Goswamis. They were having so many options. They left everything, and they were propagating the holy name, and they gave nectar to everyone. So also we are sometimes we cannot leave our opulence and everything, whatever we have, we cannot come out from those things. So although we are chanting, we are doing everything, but we listening also, but we do not try to follow what we are listening. We are doing so many things basically. Right?
Yeah, there's jnana and there's vijnana. We're hearing that we need to be austere, renounced, and not, take hoarding possessions, this and that. And then sometimes it becomes a little bit difficult. We have so many attachments in this world. But as we progress more and more, our interest will be more to serving Krishna in a very simple way. We're not interested in. We lose the taste for material objects. We lose the taste for a materialistic lifestyle. All the things which are 6 Goswamis, they come from very wealthy family, aristocratic family, they had no interest in aristocratic association. They had no interest in the money and all these things. All they wanted was love for Krishna. And so from jnana, it progresses to vijnana, to realized knowledge. That's what Kapila Dev came to teach, jnana, vijnana. That so by the repeated hearing and repeated chanting and service mood, then if Krishna is giving you some facility, that's nice, use it in Krishna's service. If Krishna takes it away, Okay, I've got my japa bead, and I'm okay either way. So you're not feeling the pain of separation of your material attachments and objects. You feel satisfied in whatever condition you find yourself in. Yeah? Any last question or comment? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.